Today's proceedings covers a new Airbus order, as promised in the last update. There's developments at Virgin Atlantic who are boosting their own flights, and JetBlue expanding down south. Beginning proceedings though with the headline story that centers around a new Airbus aircraft order for the A330neo, specifically 4 units from Brazil's Azul. A deal was previously signed as essentially a purchase agreement in June 2024. However, now thanks to a release, the deal has been made firm. Airbus's chief commercial officer says Azul will be able to leverage the full potential of the commonality seen between the A320 and the A330 aircraft families. Additionally, passengers will enjoy the fantastic offering of the A330neo for long-haul flights on a network that is continuing to grow. The expectation is deliveries will begin in 2026, with a view for these additional neos to essentially allow more cities worldwide to be connected with Brazil. Despite a recent commitment from the Brazilian carrier for 4 additional A330neos, many would argue the series has ultimately been a pretty poor seller, and it would be hard to argue with them on multiple fronts. In 2023, the A330-800, which is the smallest variant of the two offered, secured just one lone order, not even from a commercial customer, rather a private one. It has largely struggled to obtain any interest since its eventual introduction into the world. In fact, some customers that had selected this variant did just end up going ahead with the further developed A321neo family. Yes, the A330-900 has secured the bulk of the commitment, but it has also struggled at times to secure interest in a firm manner, especially to a certain extent as the same as the A330ceo, the aircraft it is intending to replace. Some analysts would argue that the industry landscape is very different now to when we saw the birth of the A330ceo, and this no doubt affects the Neo. Additionally, others would say that the A330neo was always slated to be a slow seller. It doesn't need to accumulate thousands of orders and will chug away over the years, getting 50 orders a year, maybe 30, 25, and such, and that will eventually tally up to build a solid total. Others would also say that the A330neo's intended competitor, the 787, is a more complete option for customers. Additionally, the head start that the 787 had in the market is invaluable, alongside the ability to select multiple variants from that series that can truly perform different missions. Despite a poor sales record though, the low development costs for the A330neo mean it doesn't require those thousands of orders to break even, but despite that, people will still always argue whether or not it has been a success, a failure, or maybe in a sense just underperformed since its launch. You can let me know your thoughts on Azul's order for 4 A330neo aircraft, alongside maybe where you want to see them fly with these aircraft once they are delivered from Brazil. It is important to note that the airline already has 5 A330neos from the -900 variant in service, therefore the 4 doesn't necessarily represent a new aircraft type that is arriving, but rather a top-up of an existing commitment. Over to Virgin Atlantic, well, they're preparing to see some pretty significant demand levels during the upcoming 2024 summer season, and they're probably not the only airline that are experiencing this. If recent announcements are anything to go by, it's been a busy few weeks in terms of airlines preparing for the following summer, even though we haven't even hit Christmas yet. As a result of this soaring demand, the airline has announced plans to increase flights from London Heathrow towards the United States to meet this. In time for the summer, the airline will look towards improving schedule towards New York JFK. The airline says this will be achieved by offering a record number of flights. A 7th daily flight between London Heathrow and New York JFK will be offered, with Delta's operation as a partner only enhancing the important transatlantic connection. All up, this represents an 11% increase year over year. But it doesn't stop there. Virgin Atlantic has said its focus will shift with a boost in service towards Boston. The airline is adding a 2nd daily flight, which when paired with Delta's daily service, means Boston and London offers 3 daily flights for customers. The next generation A330-900 and A350-1000 will be deployed across these services. Remember, these two aircraft types have only recently joined the Virgin Atlantic fleet and have been vital to transforming their operations, bringing down the average age and removing some of your inefficient aircraft types. Virgin Atlantic also therefore says that thanks to these new aircraft, customers will have the latest cabin products on board as they move towards more efficient forms of flying. Virgin Atlantic's transatlantic operations are pivotal naturally for the airline's success in the industry. That's really highlighted with their strong commitment to New York JFK. In fact, per Cirium data, operations between New York JFK and London Heathrow is their most important when measured by the number of flights. In November 2023, 348 flights were offered between the two destinations. Service to Los Angeles International and Miami also rank highly with 120 and 116 flights between the cities and London Heathrow during the most recent month. Virgin Atlantic's US operations continue with daily flights towards other key markets such as Orlando International Airport and Harry Reid International. Additionally, the airline can be seen in locations such as Seattle, Washington Dulles, and Austin in Texas too. With a fleet of 39 in-service aircraft, really they have leaned towards now your more efficient 787, A350, and A330neo series, with the departure of some of your more inefficient quad-engine planes. Moving on to the final story of today, and we're staying sort of within North America, if you will, even though I was covering a UK-based company. Just pretend that I've continued on with where Virgin Atlantic were targeting and staying in the United States, specifically also staying with New York JFK. JetBlue announced that they will be expanding their operations to Mexico by adding a new service starting in 2024 to Tulum. From June 13th, 2024, JetBlue will begin service to Tulum International Airport from New York's John F. Kennedy. The daily non-stop flight will see JetBlue offer service to a popular location known for its serene beaches, and as part, it is presenting itself as the perfect gateway for those in the eastern part of the United States. JetBlue already serves several destinations within Mexico, and as a result, Tulum will become the fourth location in Mexico. Thanks to the addition of this service, JetBlue will also be the only airline offering non-stop service to Tulum from New York JFK, a symbolic fact that the company is definitely rolling with. The carrier says it will be utilizing the Airbus A320 for this service with fast, free, unlimited broadband, fly-fi, complimentary snacks and drinks, seatback entertainment, and what JetBlue says is their award-winning service. JetBlue has operated within Mexico for almost 2 decades. This came following the launch of New York JFK to Cancun more than 17 years ago. Following the airline's launch of these flights, it has continued expanding service with Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Los Angeles, Tampa, Newark, Raleigh, and Boston, seeing connections to Cancun. However, in extension, the airline has flown towards many other cities within Mexico as part of their commitment, focusing on the East Coast and also the West Coast. Once the Tulum service commences in 2024, the airline will see more than 15 peak daily flights from the United States towards locations in Mexico. That is going to conclude today's aviation and news recap. If you have absolutely any thoughts on the topics covered in today's episode, you are more than welcome to drop them down below in the comments. I do greatly appreciate your support here on the channel. I hope you're taking care and also staying safe. I will see you next time for the latest industry developments. And we'll fly.